Dear friends, welcome to Jigyasa. So today I am going to talk about how to prepare question paper for the MBA program. And it's a very important aspect. Dear friends, one problem was there when I used to do with my experience all such context regarding the OBE. It is very difficult to find something very much particular to the MBA program. Because in our country, AICT is taking care of it, NBA is there, and maximum people, those who hold the top positions, they are from the engineering. I have seen the AICT examination reform, where question paper is of engineering and they are supposed to guide MP also. So that I have decided that with my experience, I will utilize whatsoever I have learned to benefit our colleagues who are into the teaching profession, particularly for the MBA program. So that I will keep on talking to MBA program and its connection with OBE, what are the technical requirements, CO, PO, everything. So in this series, today I am going to talk about how to prepare a question paper which aligns with the Bloom's taxonomy, which aligns with the course outcome, then proportionate weightage to the course outcome in the particular question paper, and overall to check its alignment with OBE. So as I said, this is the purpose and rationale behind this. So question paper must have a specific course outcome and it must have addressing the specific cognitive level of Bloom's taxonomy. So see, the table shows that at which VT level, what should be the format of your question paper and what action verbs you should use. It is very important. You almost need to take care of this table when you are framing the question paper, when you are framing your assignment. Everywhere it applies equally good, right? So remember, it is recall, understand is explain concept, apply to new situation, analyze means to find relationship and then do the analysis, evaluate, justify, critic, create, generate new ideas. So the format says what kind of question in question paper you should ask so that you can defend the BT level. And accordingly, you need to use the action verb. So this is the prime thing that we need to take care. So using action verbs correctly, it is one of the most challenging tasks, right? Because people used to mark the CO, but sometimes I have observed in the academic audit that in question paper, the action verb is not properly aligned the CO which examiner or the paper setter is claiming, right? So there is an example with each of the levels. So analyze means differentiate, create, design, evaluate, critically assess the HR retention study. So you can go through. So I am not reading out the whatsoever examples are there. But by the time you read it, my intention is that you should use the action verb correctly. This is the foremost thing to design. Otherwise, when it comes to attainment and whatsoever numerics you are putting, it doesn't carry any significant meaning in terms of real outcome because ultimately where it need to be corrected, it was not done, right? So formulating questions on case study, it is a very important thing. And personally, I believe that MBA is basically being taught in case study, used as a tool to teach the student to make them learn. So in evaluation also, we should ask questions from the base case study, right? And the case study is a tool which West used to test, analyze, evaluate, and create, means highest cognitive orders. So there are certain guidelines. Select a contemporary and relevant cases, but don't copy it from the textbook, right? Require reason, judgment, use framework of Sword, Potter, Five, Forsyth, Pestel, whatsoever. It's just a suggestion. Frame 2 to 4 sub-question and each targeting a distinct BT level and where possible a distinct CO. Right? So later on it will bring clarity to all of you because when we used to ask questions from case study, people don't take care of BT alignment with the questions being asked. Right? So see, balancing CO coverage with internal choices. It is very important segment. In another 3-4 slide, I will keep on talking on internal choices because it's a very important and significant part of question paper which we are asking to our students, right? So when it is not possible that each time we should say that each and every question is compulsory. So I have developed a rationale that I will be talking in next slide, that what we could make compulsory and what we should offer the choices and what should be the logic, so that when it goes to assessment, even assessors get rational behind it and no objection comes in terms of accreditation as well. So if we consider case study as a compulsory, and this is the third portion that I would like to talk, proportional marks. It is very important. Next 3-4 slides are just devoted on this proportional marks. That how much usually the table you could see that usually the pattern I am trying to depict is that people say that each CO must get the equal weightage and we usually follow it and we frame the question paper. But there is a rationale behind it that why CO marks should be in proportion, because how much credit hours, contact hours you are devoting to the content, so it deserves at which BT level you want to take them. So there is a rationale behind it. Each time in equal portion of time you can't take to the higher cognitive, each time to the lower cognitive, and then asking each cognitive level BT level questions for equal marks. So it is not an equality and there is no rationality. But table says what we usually do. So let us come to the next part, which I would just try to pinpoint before you. So I have developed a logic that suppose in course like MBA, it's a professional course, it's a master degree, students are supposed to be employable to the industry. And so in terms of lower order cognitive and higher order cognitive levels of BT, we can develop a rationale that we should devote 30% suppose to the lower cognitive order and 70% to the higher cognitive order, I think the purpose of MBA is getting served, right? So we can do another thing. I have brought the solution because even my colleague, they were asking that if we put proportionate to it, what CO, which weightage, what kind of weightage, in number of questions are there. So I tried with my logic to bring a clarity to all of you that we can put compulsory questions from lower order cognitive level, and where we want to check the higher order cognitive level, we can give them the options, and that is the ultimate aim to reach to the higher order, right? So we can develop a logic, and for their development of higher cognitive order MBA students, we can put a rationale that where, because see, when it is to check, remember, understand, apply, it has got almost certain things, methodology and application, that is fixed. But if you go to analyze, evaluate and create, in number of ways it can be done. So a rationale is that where we are going to provide the choices to them, and the restriction with the choices, it should be of the almost the same level, otherwise justification is not possible. So see, align assessment with instructional time investment. The logic is defensible under NBN Act audit, prevents overweighting of under-taught units. Right, this is the case I was trying to bring out earlier in my discussion. It ensures fair representation of course content and support transparent CU attainment computation. Right. So when instructions are unequal in terms of instructional time is unequal in terms of units, then that should be reflected in the assessment as well. Where we are devoting more time, that proportion should go to it. That will be clear in the next. See, this is the beauty, what I have tried to say, that CO-wise marks derived from the credit hours. So I have developed it for the 5 unit course of 5 unit and 3 credit. So hours, suppose it is of 30 hours, even it's a sample. So whatsoever is your credit distribution in terms of hours, then proportionately work out and just convert it in the rounded marks, and allot it in your question paper, right? So usually it's a 3 credit course, so it can go to up to 42 to 45 hours, because 14 to 15 hours uh, is for 1 credit as per the NCRF framework. So it's just an example. So ours is suppose 30. So don't consider means 3 credit course. I am saying it is of 30 hours. So that's for clarification. I am saying it. It's a notional calculation that you can do it up to 45 hours or 60 hours. It's a 4 credit put 60 hours. But each CO coverage with each unit that we need to bring the primary alignment, it is not essential that CO1 in unit 1 will take the same time as CO5 with unit 5, right? So this is the example. The best way to calculate and have rounded off your marks and accordingly put that much weightage to a particular CO end semester exam, so that will bring rationality and it will bring a real CO attainment for you. So see section A where CO1, CO2 we are bringing, we can make it compulsory. CO3 we can give internal choice or it's up to you. For the subject you can put CO3 also as compulsory, but for CO4, 5 and BT level 4, 5, 6 you have to provide the choices because the logic I have told you. So accordingly we need to frame our question paper. So it's a 3 credit 5 unit MBA course of a strategic management. Just have a look so that it can bring. So here the notion is 10 hours per credit. It's a notional. Again, I am repeating. Don't go to it. It's just a notional calculation. So it is 14 to 15 hours, right? So for a 3 credit course, you go to just 45 hours. So see CO1, question is there, BT level is there, marks is there, choice is no. It means in section A, we are trying to keep it up to CO1, CO2, which goes to remember, understand, and these are the compulsory one, and the rational is that I told you that for higher cognitive order, we should put them with options, and for the lower cognitive order, we can make it compulsory. So this is the summary. I don't think that I should read out the entire thing. That's why I am putting it on hold for you people. You can go through it and you can read it out and you can understand. And whatsoever is required, where understanding is required, I am just trying to speak out those things. So see, even if you are putting analyze, evaluate, create, even up to the similar extent, it is valid. But don't go that for analyze and option is of apply, then it is invalid. Try your best to put the same CO, same level of BT if you are giving the internal choice. And then for higher order, again, I am saying, please put internal choice. Because if you put the choice in gross, what will happen? The CO distribution will can't be defended, and it is not any uniformity without any rationality. It goes random, right? So suppose CO3 got out of 70 paper, 70 marks paper, it goes to 40 marks. Then there is no rational in such question paper if you are aligning with the OBE. So section A is compulsory, section B internal choice, section C if you are putting the case study question, another example I am telling you. So in 5 questions, either or choice, each 8 marks. So this is 40. Again, remember, understand is of 10 and rest 20 goes to the case of study where you should ask 2 to 3 sub-question at analyze, evaluate, create level. See, for a case of study, minimum level that need to be marked is analyze, because basically it is used for analysis. You can put it in a situation where students are supposed to evaluate. You can put a situation where students are supposed to create with the given information. But below analysis, it has got no meaning. So when you are putting a questions on your case of study, the segment is compulsory. then put 2 to 3 sub-question on different level, right? So now another problem that was about the internal choice. Another problem I have seen that even colleagues share, that suppose anyone wants to ask a long question, then the problem is they use multiple verbs in a single question, so that they say that's the way we can make it a question for 10 marks, 15 marks. For instance, just have a look on the statement. Define supply chain management and explain its importance in the FMCG sector. So we are asking define, then we are saying explain, right? Or analyze the given case and design an optimal distribution network. So we are asking for analyze, then we are asking them to design. So if multiple verb questions are there in a single question, then it is problematic. So what is the way out? That will be there in the next slide. See, this is the rationale. If you are asking define supply chain management, remember, understand CO1, agreed. Analyze the given case and design an optimal. So it goes from analysis to create. So if the analysis is your CO3 or create is your CO4 or CO5 or CO6, whatsoever it is there, but it is unclear which CO you want to map. So it will be problematic. While in third question, evaluate the cost benefit, evaluate was there, justify is there, so you can evaluate it's consistent and it is CO5. So exactly you want to assess, evaluate with CO5, it is clear. But in 3B, it doesn't bring clarity. This is the problem when we are using multiple action verb in a single question, right? So this is the solution that I propose. If you want to ask something in a little bit of progression, usually suppose you want to check the depth in a sequence with the particular concept. So there is no harm that you want to devote 10 marks to check the concept up to this level. But don't put it again, I am telling you, don't put it in a single sentence. The best way is like in the table 2, right? Isolate one action verb with one question, put a particular marks against it, like define supply chain management, then in part B you may ask explain its importance. So you want to check the depth of their understanding in terms of supply chain management and its application. Suppose even you want to get the application, you may put it in a different question, different mark, but segregate the CO, segregate the action verb. Please put it in isolation, right? So these two examples says whatsoever usually my colleague face a problem that if they want to ask a question of 10 marks, 12 marks, long answer question, then they find that first of all I will ask what is this, then I will ask evaluate this. It is wrong. Make it as a subpart. As a subpart, put one thing, a particular CO, particular action verb, particular marks, right? And in the continuum, use your sentence framing such that you want to check from understanding to evaluate, you want to check apply to evaluate, you want to check analyze to create. That should be the order, that a particular depth of a question you want to assess with a particular tool. That tool is your action verb and it need to be aligned with the BT level so that you could say that I have checked it and it is as per the as per the requirement of OBE. So till the time I am trying to put out two things. One, I have discussed the putting the internal choice. Is it a mandate? So nobody says it's a mandate, but if you put everything as compulsory, it doesn't become rational with a question paper, right? So one logic was how to have that continuum. You should put compulsory to lower order thinking and option to the higher order thinking. Case study you must ask if you, because basically it's a case-based teaching. So case study you must ask for the higher cognitive order and separately ask some sub questions. So these two things, I think the main problem my colleague used to face while designing a question paper, I am trying my best to address it, right? So this is the question paper hierarchy in terms of verb hierarchy, that what you should ask. In a one long question, as I was discussing, again, it's a summary. So remember, understand, analyze, put it in a order. 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks. So if you put subpart A, B, C, then for a 10 marks, it is a valid proposition. But don't club those action verbs. It's a wrong way we used to ask to our student. Now see, this is the HRM question. So discuss the concept of employee retention, evaluate the retention strategy, and see, this is usually we find. And people say nothing is wrong. I have used the action verb. I want to check their understanding, and then I want to check their higher cognitive evaluate. So what is wrong? This is wrong. You in a single question, if you are using multiple verb, attainment is not going to be assessed. Right? So again, I am saying with various example, my intention is it should bring enough clarity to you that how to use multiple verb in a sub part if we want to frame a single long answer question. Right? So isolate is verb, assign explicit marks, and wait toward higher order. That order you need to follow. That is the logical one because marks, assigning the marks has got a logic. For the higher order, you need to put higher marks. For lower order, it's lower. So there is a reasoning. Don't put it randomly. A, B, C, it should be in sequence. C, D, E, it must be in sequence. Don't put it random. That question A 5 marks, then B 3 marks, and you are asking understanding A and asking evaluate, and you are giving the 2 marks. It's not correct way, right? So label BT and CO internally. Document BT label and CO per micro subpart in paper setting worksheet. Again, I am emphasizing it. It is very much desirable. Then only you could bring rationality in your question paper that really I have aligned with the OBE logic. So these are the some specific suggestion to my faculty colleague. Restrict its subpart ABC to one dominant action verb. Right? Means what you want to assess, it must be clear. Assign explicit mark, as I said, label the intended BT level and CO that we have discussed. Graded sequence, again, I am saying. So 60 to 70% of questions in MBA, as I was saying here, I have written it, it should go to the higher cognitive order. Avoid joining verb, we have discussed enough. For case study, we have discussed and cross-verify at the moderation stage that whatsoever I wanted to do, exactly the paper is. So these are some do's and don'ts for a question paper setter. Map every question to a CO and BT level. So less than 35% of marks should go to initial low order cognitive order. Ensure internal choices are like for like in CO and difficulty. It's just like a mandate. Otherwise, you can't defend that if you are putting, I said earlier, remember to evaluate, it's not a choice. Right? Cross-check COBT marks matrix. Don't cluster all question at remember understand level. It means it is not for a PG level, right? Use of vague verbs, avoid it. Allow choice as a structure, but in such a way that no CO is getting escaped, right? So friends, that's all from my side for this context. That was how to frame a question paper that has got alignment with OBE. And this is my website, Jigyasa, you all know. So my one request is there I used to write blog in the blog segment where you will find rational blog that addresses the concern of OBE, IKS and SDG. So visit Jigyasa, go through the blog, provide your feedback so that it can be improvised further and keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning. Thank you.